Former champion Garbine Muguruza battles back from a set down to avoid a shock early exit. Last updated, the 19th of May 26, 9:25 p.m. Angelique Kerber was one of two high-profile exits at the French Open on Sunday. Angelique Kerber and Venus Williams headlined the early exits from the women's draw after day one at the French Open in Paris. This year's tournament did not have long to wait for the first of its upsets, as fifth seed Kerber's disappointing clay court record, coupled with an ankle injury that has seen her only just return from a month, were both in evidence. The German, a three-time Grand Slam champion, has won the Australian Open, the US Open and Wimbledon, but there will be no career Grand Slam this year as teenage Russian Anastasia Potapova blew her away with an impressive 6-4, 6-2 victory. The year has been with up and downs, and right now I lost here the first round, so what should I say, said Kerber, who suffered her third first-round exit in the last 4 years in Paris. I'm disappointed, but I tried everything the last 2 weeks to be here to play a match, and I was happy about the process the last days, but at the end, I didn't have real match practice. Anastasia Potapova enjoyed the most high-profile win of her career. The former world number one, who could have returned to the top of the rankings with a title triumph, suffered an ankle injury earlier this month, and with just 2 matches on clay behind her, she was no match for Potapova, who faces fellow Russian teenager Marketa Vondrousova in the second round. It was a similar story but in very different circumstances for 2002 runner-up Williams, who was beaten by 9th seed Alina Svitolina in a high-profile first-round matchup. 22 years after her debut, Williams was handed about as tough a draw as she could have expected as an unseeded player, and the 39-year-old went down 6-3, 6-3. Injury problems have seen Williams slide down to 52 in the rankings, and having racked up a catalogue of unforced errors, she failed to make any inroads on Svitolina, who put injury problems of her own behind her. Alina Svitolina proved too strong for Venus Williams in Paris, losing just 6 games on her way to the second round. Sometimes in a few matches in the past 2 months, I was not thinking about what I had to do on court. I was more away with the fairies, she admitted, but I learned a lot during these 2 months, and I tried to have the right mindset which was going to help me to handle this. And today it was a good example that I can do it. Alongside Svitolina, world number 2 Karolina Pliskova is arguably the best player yet to claim a major Grand Slam singles title, and having beaten Johanna Konta to the Rome title last weekend, she arrives in form. Czech eased past American Madison Brengel 6-2, 6-3 to join last year's runner-up Sloane Stephens in the second round, Stephens beating Masaki Doi 6-3, 7-6. Garbine Muguruza survived a scare to set up a meeting with Sweden's Johanna Larsson. Former champion Garbine Muguruza, who triumphed in Paris in 2016, had the honor of playing the first match on the new show court against Simone Mathieu, but she had to do things the hard way. The Spaniard, seeded 19th this year, was forced to recover from a set-down to defeat Taylor Townsend 5-7, 6-2, 6-2, while Belinda Bencic and Petra Martic were among the other seeds in action, and both had it relatively easy to advance in straight sets. Let's block ads. Why?